Peace, peace, and greetings, everyone. Peace and greetings, and assalamu alaikum, and peace. Shalom. What's up? Um, Whatever your favorite greeting is. My name is Maurice Muhammad. I am your host today for your edition, today's edition of Everything Real Estate. My name is Maurice Muhammad from a Torchlight Real Estate Academy. I'm the broker and owner of Progressive Realty, DBA, a Torchlight Realty in New Jersey. We currently licensed in three states: New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. And we are here today with this episode. We have a very special guest, Harris Corbett of Freedom Mortgage, and we are speaking here with pandemically speaking. So we're bringing these episodes to you with information and with the opportunity with in an attempt to share with you the community as well as real estate professionals abroad. We're looking to bring to you information on real estate as it's related to real estate, how real estate is affecting this COVID, how we've been affected real estate in this COVID pandemic. So what we do, we do just that. We bring information to you, speaking from our gift as it relates to real estate profession. We have a very special guest. Without further ado, we would like to bring to you Harris Corbett from Freedom Mortgage, so he can share with you and us some vital information as it relates to real estate. We welcome your questions. Please bring your questions in the chat. You can go to the Facebook. We have a Facebook live a watch party going on, and you're welcome to ask questions because this is for you. We're bringing this information to the community for your purpose in serving you. Thank you. So, yes, sir, Harris. Would you like to start, Harris, and tell us about this?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. Yep.
Fantastic. How are you guys today? I want to thank you. First of all, thank you, Maurice, for inviting me to your podcast. I really appreciate it. I think this is probably my only second podcast, and I've been around a while. So thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming, man. Thank you.
Hope everybody's doing well, and my condolences out to everyone who's dealing with anybody during this coronavirus time right now. I'm sure it's going to get better soon. That's all I can say.
No, it will. It will.
Yeah, sure. But my name is Harris Corbett. I'm a mortgage loan officer with Freedom Mortgage. I've been in the business for about 20-something years. When I first got in the business, interest rates were 17%.
Wow. Don't look that old, bro.
Let me move this mask so you can see some of this white hair in here. Yeah. But yeah, at 17, now we're at 3. So go figure. But a lot of stuff between that time. A lot of changes in the market. Mm-hmm. I mean, even when it comes to just the market change, just this whole coronavirus thing has changed the market. So you'll see, and we'll be talking about during this time what's going on with the coronavirus and the mortgage companies these days.
So how long have you been in business? You said since 20? How long have you been in business?
Well, about 20 years, 20-something years. I keep saying 20. My wife says, no, it's been a lot longer than that, buddy. You've been through the thick and thin. I think when I first started off, it was Wachovia was the bank, man. No, matter of fact, it was First Pennsylvania.
Wow.
So, they were, and it was a sister to Emmett Chappelle trying to open up a bank back then. Mm. Yeah. So
where was she trying to open a bank at?
In Philadelphia, actually. She had a good team with her too. I knew a lot of those guys, heavy hitters. I think they branched off. She opened up the what's the name of that bank there? It's a bank in the neighborhood, Pennsylvania something. I know there was a branch on 38th in Lancaster at one time, but she did she did a pretty good job actually.
Nice.
She did have a couple of branches. Yeah, it was really successful for a while.
So is that where you do your business at? Where do you do your business?
Majority of my business, I would say, comes from Philadelphia. Between Philadelphia and Delaware is a mix, but I am licensed in New York and New Jersey and Maryland. And those are for deals that I get from time to time. But the majority of my bills comes from Philadelphia and Delaware.
Nice. So that way you do your business at Philadelphia, Delaware. So
Yeah.
what do you do? So what is your day? So what do you do, man? What's your niche?
Oh goodness gracious! I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I go for a quick walk. I used to do those runs, those runs turn to walks now.
It turned to
So,
fall. Yeah.
yeah, so I go for a walk, walk about, I say about 2 miles, come home, and I'm in front of that computer probably by 8:30.
So no, what's your niche? So tell me, what's your niche business? And what
Oh,
do you do as far as your niche? Yeah, because
oh, well, I tell you, in this business, it's a lot of companies. I find that a lot of companies do a lot of stuff, and I think in this business, 80% of it is a matter of trust.
yes,
That said, what the products are there.
right.
You some companies are a little bit more aggressive than others, but what I find mainly is the trust factor, getting people to accept you and basically trust that you're going to be able to get them to the success point, which is the settlement that they need to be. That's it. If I could tell anybody about this business, I would say it'd be a trust factor.
Nice.
Because because the more they trust you, the easier the job becomes,
Facts,
and
yeah.
a lot smoother transaction.
No, that's 80% of it. 70, 80% of it, man. A lot of times, and if you gain that trust once, you can also sell other business to them, sell them to other
Yeah,
things that you're doing.
so
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I got people now. A lot of my clients are from pretty much clients I've dealt with in the past who referred them.
Mhm.
My business comes from referrals. I get some stuff to a couple of agents, but most of the time it's referrals and phone
Right.
calls. Yeah.
So let me ask you. So in this, as we're dealing with this pandemic, right? What are you seeing differently? We're like now. I think it was 21 million. I saw 21 million filed for unemployment this week
Oh
alone.
my
We're
goodness.
upwards of 40 million, if not more, filing for unemployment. What have you seen that is affecting your business? What do you see? You seeing more refinances, uptick in
Well,
refi?
you switch it somewhat. Refis, you want to do the refis because that's basically where a lot of some of the deals come in to make up for the
Mhm.
shortfall. Because I've had quite a few clients who had to stop in the mid range because their job had laid them off.
Mhm.
Um, but in the industry is really scared now. There's a whole series of moves that Fannie and Freddie and the FHFA are making now. They're looking well, and they call it. It's interesting because they call it coronavirus during the coronavirus period. But I'm interested in seeing what they're going to do afterwards. If they're going to, because one thing about business period, if they think they can get away with, businesses think they can get away with using less money and less resources and get a better product, they're going to stay there. Like right now, for example, where we know the FHA where at one time they were at 550, now they're, or at least minimum 580. Now they're at 640 now.
So FHA is low minimum requirement of 640 now. Is that a bank overlay or did FHA change that? Because correct me if I'm wrong, FHA didn't have a credit score requirement. It was bank overlays, correct? Or am I in error for that?
Yeah, I mean it was low. You had the overlays. I mean they had a credit score requirement, I think of like 540 or something like that. And then, with that 540, they were overlays like 10% down. I think the most aggressive lender I worked with, we had an overlay. If we would do a loan at 540, but then that was at 10% down. And then if you had a 580, that's when it started to normalize,
Right.
and you could get your 3.5 at that point. But
Right.
now it's 640 across the board. You see a lot of things with Wells. They stopped doing the equity loans. They no longer have equity loans now at Wells.
No equity loans with Wells Fargo. Wow. And Chase was the first ones to announce. They came out from the gate saying, look, don't bother us with anything under 700 FICO score and 20% down. So they we don't even want to talk. We're going to just let you know where we stand right away. So the question was who was going to follow suit. But I guess, we're seeing that must be Wells' answer, part of it, or Wells' response to it. So do you anticipate more banks doing more of that?
Well, that 640 hard. That's hard. So that's pretty much all banks. Some might be a little bit even more aggressive than that and say 660. But I know it was from what I hear from HUD, it was 640. And then even within my company now, we have, there's divisions where if they call in line, like, because we have a call center, our call center only doing or now no longer taking loans with certain scores. So you're seeing a lot of fear there, where everyone's trying to get that higher credit bar, less riskier bar.
Less risky bar. Makes sense. I mean, well, I can't say that, we definitely living in a new normal. I'm just gonna say that for certain.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
definitely in a new normal, as some
But,
would say.
that's where it comes, where you have to deal with an aggressive loan officer who knows certain things. Like, for example, I'm working with a client now. Their credit score is at 601. So so you look more at the credit situation, see what it's going to take, because there's certain things that you can do to adjust credit scores, like bringing credit cards down within a certain amount of money and paying off certain debt that might be a little bit more easier to pay off, and then having a rescore generated that might assist that particular boy. That's what I'm working on this boy now. They have a stable income, been with the post office 28 years. But some things happen, some things go by the wayside. So you can't penalize a person for that. So I think that, especially if that person showed the propensity to pay their rent on time or their car notes or things of that nature. So you got to be willing to work with borrowers. You know what I mean? Work them through it, hold their hand, work them through the process. I think our job, because now with everything's being on the computer now, I mean, there's nothing for them to flip through the computer, put some information in and get approval. So our value comes in and making our borrowers feel a lot easier, a lot more comfortable.
Right. So you mentioned rescore. You didn't say rapid rescore. You mentioned rescore. So and then you also mentioned any so items on your credit that will increase the score. Is there anything in particular that you can give our listeners, audience, that they should or could work on that will give their credit the maximum bump or the maximum boost if they did that?
Sure. Well, it's what you look at is for certain levels of credit. There's A levels, B levels, and C levels of credit. Certain things like your rental income and your utility bills and so forth, those are considered A, where basically you can get a letter from those utility companies that basically say you've been a customer for so long and you have a good record. Okay, something like that. Then you got your homeowners insurance or your agents, your brokers and your insurance brokers and those folks. You can get a letter from them.
So wait. So I just want to be clear. So you're saying a letter from an insurance agent
who let's say you have life insurance, car insurance. Those people you have those insurances through, have the broker write up a letter basically saying that you've been a customer for however many years. Now they could generalize it and say, oh, well, he's been a good customer. Or they could put, well, this person's paid me $200 a month for a year and he's been paid in on time and he's had it with this. That letter could be sent to the credit bureau. The credit reporting agency. I don't want to confuse it because there's difference between credit reporting agencies and credit bureaus, repositories. But that person could send it to a credit reporting agency who would verify the letter with the person who wrote it, and then add that as a line item on the credit report.
So wait, so that's good information, and that's good stuff. New stuff, never heard that before. So I want to be clear because I have. So in other words, so if a person that's struggling with credit and they want to bump their credit up, they can have. This is not considered alternative credit, correct?
Yes, this is alternative credit.
It is alternative. Okay. Yeah. So it'll get on their it'll reflect on their credit as a trade line with, let's say for instance, a property management company. If a tenant comes in and they rent properties from us and they say, hey, can you write us a letter
Right.
on your letterhead from your property
Right.
management
Has
company.
to be from a property management company, exactly. It can't be
Wow.
from the owner of a property. Some people get confused. They say, well, um, I, my cousin, my aunt, my relative owns a property, and she could write me a letter. That's not going to work. There has to be a property management company on the property management letterhead. But that could be used as a line item. Now, a line item, not to generate a credit score, a line item in regards to having 2 or 3 or 4 line items on a report.
Okay, so it's not not going to be a trade line that's going to bump the score.
Right.
It will
No.
be used
No.
as alternative credit for
Right.
someone that may not have
Right.
need another trade line.
Yes, because usually you need at least 3
Gotcha.
trade lines.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. All
Yeah,
right, I want to be clear because I was.
No, we're on a podcast, buddy. I don't need somebody looking at tell me I gave them the wrong information.
No, I wanted to be. No, I thought we was on to something, man. I was about to sing it from the mountaintops. Tell them something. So yes.
No, it's still a good thing because you need that. Now, as far as score, you're going to have to deal with whatever the line items are on that report.
Right.
Whether pay some stuff down, pay some stuff off. Another thing too is credit lenders such as ourselves. One thing about it, we always usually have to get approvals for those updated credit reports because they become very expensive. Like each line item is like $35 per line item per bureau. I've had a credit report with $900 at one time for one client, one bill.
Now, who pays that fee?
Lender has to pay it. We can't come back to the seller. We can't come back to the borrower for that.
That can't be put on the HUD?
No.
Wow. Okay.
No, not upgrades. Yeah, no.
Cost of doing business.
Yeah, cost of doing business. So that's why they want to make sure that when you do those kind of things that the deal is going to go.
So tell me, why do you do what you do, man? Why is it that you do? What's your passion? Why you do?
Man, 2 reasons. I mean, one is I started off. I mean, I'm a guy I'm from New York. I graduated, and growing up in New York in the 70s, everybody lived in an apartment. So when you grow up living in an apartment, so we used to think that people who own homes were rich, and so growing up like that, and then when you're able to make the situation, so growing up like that, I just knew because my parents never developed the thoughts of home ownership.
Mm-hmm.
So they always thought now condos were a thing, but even condos were because you have those condo fees. So do you really own it? But my parents and family never owned a home. So one of the things when I got into Philadelphia, I started in life insurance and then got the Series 6 and all the mutual fund stuff. And then when I started doing mortgages, I saw how I could transform a person's life because I look at my own life. I didn't own a home until I started doing mortgages.
Mm-hmm.
Once I did the mortgages, I was like, wow, man, this is crazy. I'm helping all these people buy a house,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not even helping myself. So at my time, my credit was little, I had student loans on there that didn't do right. So I said, well, it was under the Reagan years where they came up with that rehab your student loans, that kind of thing, and they'll take it from a positive and negative. Mm-hmm. Did that in a year, bought my first house for like $100, sold that for $250, bought another house. Then I wound up buying some property in New York. Then grandmother passed in South Carolina, bought that house. Bought a house in Baltimore. So I kind of believe in that home ownership thing because of what it did to my fortunes. If I hadn't been in the mortgage business, I'd probably still be renting an apartment on City Line Avenue.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
But I saw what I could do with the tax benefits of it. Mm-hmm. It isn't easy. I mean, you the landlord guy. My goodness gracious, that right tenant and all. But it propelled me to be able to help people, and I saw that it can. And once I did that for myself, I was able to see how it helps families. You know what I mean? Because I think about how my life would have been if my parents had owned the house, and they were able to leave that to me.
Right.
Some kind of inheritance. So I think about those type of things, and I think that if we can take our children, that'd be a big step for us to be able to take our children and let them develop the value of home ownership.
No, that's what's up, man. No, I teach in a school locally here, and
Mhm.
I
Oh,
have access to elementary students and high school students. And what we do is we go into schools, we have an incubator, and we educate them on real estate, mainly for, and why I like it is because they're able to reach the elementary students and plant their seed,
yeah,
like you said, the
yeah,
importance, and it's invaluable to help to get them information on
mhm.
real estate at that age, and you never know how it's going to affect them later on,
Right,
and
right,
then at
right.
the high school level, they get in and become an intern and get actively involved. And I put them straight to work as soon as they come in.
Wow.
Put them right on the phone, answering the phone, and they don't know what they into, but by the
Uh-huh.
time it's over with, they've had that experience at least
Oh man, that's
exposed to
awesome.
real estate. So it's really a good idea. And it's with the youth because that's our future, man.
Sure
And
is,
finding
yeah,
a way to make them
yes.
help them to be better, man, and to be successful. We know we're living and dealing with different set of numbers as it relates to
Mhm,
us with real
mhm,
estate.
mhm.
We're the underserved in a lot of cases, so we have to work twice as hard to make
Yeah,
sure
absolutely.
that you know
Man,
that they know. So, what is your secret sauce, man? What's your secret sauce? What
secret sauce, man. I tell you, just try to my goal in it from the start to the finish is do as much as possible to put that client at ease. That's
Mhm.
the sort of coming to where the client, one thing about clients, you find that you don't want to overthink them or just complicate their situation because they're already getting into it nervous. You
Mhm.
and so I think our job is basically to ease their fear, to let them know that it's going to be okay. If you don't get there today, you can get there tomorrow.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But to ease their fear and make them feel like even if there's a situation where they can't do it today, give them the idea of the options. You know what I mean? What they need to do to get their situation where it needs to be. Just
Gotcha.
don't lose track of them. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Treat everybody the same. I treat
Mhm.
I treat my 750, $800,000 clients the same as my $50,000 clients. You know what I
That's
mean?
important right there, man.
Treat everybody the same,
That's
man.
big.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's integrity too, man. That's
Yeah.
and it's said honesty is telling the truth, integrity is living it. And
Yes.
when you do that, that's definitely represents integrity, man.
Yeah. That's
So we're in this pandemic and we're in COVID-19 right now, and
it.
we have individuals. 21 million people filed for unemployment last week alone. So we have
Wow.
individuals that is looking to reset, restart, and looking to restart and just
Mhm.
what would you say to them, someone that's new, and looking to restart, what would you say to them as encouragement for them to be able to go and deal with this
It's never
job
too
thing?
late. It's never too late.
Got you.
And to start with and come up with a. I know people say come up with a plan. We use that. Come up with a plan. Well, when you're going through thick and thin and you're going through some rough times, it's hard to come up with a plan. But just the plan doesn't have to be well drawn out. Don't have to be thorough, but come up with some idea of what your goals are. What is it you try? If your goal is to accomplish to purchase a house, just think about a little bit about, well, why do you start from maybe, well, why do you want to purchase this house? You know what I mean? And then the sacrifice, because real estate is a sacrifice. I mean, only real estate is a sacrifice. And it really is. There's times where you're going to have to, well, I can't do this. I can't go on that trip. I can't travel here. I can't do this. I can't buy that. You can't, and for young people, hey, you can't buy those shoes, those red bottoms, and all that other stuff. You're gonna have to sacrifice. What amazes me, where people say, "Well, I want to buy a house, but I haven't saved one nickel."
Mm.
Okay, I haven't saved one nickel. I mean, and I hear this, and they're gonna tell you, yeah, there's programs. You see, oh, there's programs, there's programs. The programs now aren't like they used to be. I remember there were programs where you could get in the house for a couple of $100. Now they want you to have a little bit of money. There's some reserve requirements. I mean, you want to have at least if you think about buying a house, you want to basically, whatever that monthly payment you're looking at, you want to at least start off, at least save 3 months, of that payment. You know what I mean? That would be at least save a little something. I don't care.
So then that's a good point you made. So so a good price, and this is for the listeners too, because it ain't what's taught is what's caught, and I just caught that. You said that a good start is, if you're looking to buy a house, is to have at least 3 months of what you want your mortgage payment to be. Is that what you heard?
Exactly. Because if you look at it from an underwriting perspective, okay, you got programs that might cover your closing costs. You know what I mean? You might get enough seller help to get a down payment, to help you with the closing costs, and then you get a grand or something might be down payment. Mortgage companies want to see you have some money left over after settlement. There's usually a reserve requirement, depending on where your credit structure is. If your credit is on the lower side, they might require 1 or 2 or 3 months reserves. Money's left over after settlement. At least if you save 3 months and you have it, and you were able to take advantage of those programs, at least you would have the reserve requirements, and the lender will say, well, at least this person did save some money.
Right. So to and this time is going by quick, man, and I appreciate your time, man, and you
giving
good information.
Helping folks buy real estate, because I know what that did for me. That took me out of the hoods of West.
Change your life.
Yeah, it changes your life.
It changes your life, no doubt.
Yeah.
So you mentioned what I heard you say as you was talking about getting a plan, when the question was asked about those that may be struggling and thinking about what to do. You said it's never too late, which is great advice.
Never too late. Because I do presentations, I do some home buying seminars, and a lot of times when you do this home buying seminars, a lot of times depending on where you're doing it at, you get people who have had issues or might feel a certain kind of way about their credit. That's our job. Our job isn't always just to make money. Our job is to educate people and to make them feel comfortable. So no matter what just don't do like Trump and shoot nobody on Fifth Avenue. You could make them, give them some vision. Okay, you look at their credit, they got nothing but medical, they got nothing but bad debt on their credit. Well, help them out. Okay, this is medical bill bad debt. So medical bills, we don't really have to pay those off. So you need to worry about these right here. Right. Educate them, walk them through it, and then leave it up to them to make the move.
Did I hear you say get started? And then the first thing that came to my mind when you said that is learn perfection through doing. So if they become perfect, so don't wait until it has to be perfect. Perfection is the mother of procrastination. Yeah. So if we wait, I'm not ready yet because I'm not ready yet because I ain't got all my ducks in a row. It ain't lined up. I need all this money. Start. So get started in whatever it is you're doing.
And don't get discouraged. Whatever you hear, do not get discouraged.
So you mentioned down payment assistance, right? And down payment assistance. What does that look like for you in this current market right now? Is it a reality? Or is it...
The down payment programs are still there. I haven't had any issues yet because I don't have really, most of my borrowers now are, most of them are refinances. I got a couple purchases and they're not getting no funds. But I'll have to check with the housing counseling agencies issue, because there's going to be the issues with the coronavirus and meeting with people, and that kind of thing. So I'm not really sure what the counselors are doing these days. That's a good question. I'm going to have to find out.
So good.
I know the programs are still there, though. I see them still. We still got. The way we do our programs here at Freedom, we have most of the programs for all the states. So all I do is pull up a particular state. They'll show me all the first-time homebuyer programs we have for that particular state.
So we got to do a homebuyer seminar, virtual one. Then you just called that into existence. So we could do one just like this and put one together. Get a date out of you. Get a date from you. We could put one together and just do a virtual homebuyer seminar. you got a list. So let me, if we'll talk more off online about it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
absolutely.
So I have one more question
Yeah.
for you, and I want to ask you. We're at our time, so I want to thank you. First, I'd
Oh,
like
man,
to
thank
give you
you,
information on
thank
how
you.
people can get a hold of you if they would like to do business in the Philadelphia, Delaware, name the states that you can, that you serve.
New York. I'm in New York. I'm in New Jersey. I'm in Philadelphia. I'm in Delaware. I'm in Maryland. What other states do I have that I'm in charge of? And I have Florida.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So how do they get a hold if they want to contact you?
Yes, I'm gonna make it simple for you. My first name is Harris, Harris. My last name is Corbett, Corbett, and www.harriscorbett.com.
So, do you feel that this is a call? Your calling?
Oh yes, 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 yes. I'm scared to do anything else.
Nice.
Scared to do anything else. Yeah, yes, yes, yes. But I like helping people. And I think not only myself, but I like I like feeling the vision of not just helping one person, but helping a whole generation, a whole family. Because
Mhm.
when home ownership and they got their kids and
Mhm.
they got grandkids, you know what I mean? And it goes on and on. I mean, ownership has been one of the things, the pillars of our foundation
Really?
since the West. You
Yeah.
know, we always talk about ownership of land ownership is always that. Why do you think that all those things happen for us when we develop our own communities?
Well, that's why why what we're doing is so important, and especially important now that we ramp it up and make sure that the level. I see this as the leveling field being the field being level, and it's on us to help ramp up the underserved and to help the
Absolutely.
community that our community become better and become homeowners. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, yeah.
use this
Just
opportunity.
gotta be willing to work a little extra harder. You're
Yeah,
gonna work
man.
harder, but that's okay. That's okay, man. We grew up we from, a lot of corn picking and cotton picking times, man. We're hard workers, in other words.
That's
So
right.
we know what some hard work is, man.
What would you like your legacy to be, bro?
I want, I want, I want all my clients, all my 20 years, to come to my funeral and just start crying because I helped them get their house. All my thousands of people that I helped just say thank you, Harris, for helping me buy my first house.
Nice, nice. Can't beat. That's fair, bro. I can't.
Yeah, man. I
That's
have to
what's
get
up.
everybody to be happy about helping buy a house. I didn't beat them. I didn't take their money. I didn't steal from them. And we all right, man.
Nice. Thank you again for your time,
My
bro. Thank
brother,
you.
thank
I'm
you
going.
for allowing me to speak on your book. This is good practice. Good practice, sir.
Good, man. So we'll be. I'm gonna definitely have you back. We will be starting. We will be having another everything real estate specifically for property management for Rimby. And
Right.
in fact, it'll be
Good.
everything real estate Rimby. And we're gonna talk property management on that one. And we'll have
Right.
invited guests on property management. So I'll definitely reach
Yeah,
back
I'm
out
ready
to
to
you and
start
love to have you
doing
back.
that.
And we're definitely gonna talk more about the home buyer seminar course. Uh,
Sounds good. All right, brother.
Thank you for your time again. And if you
Thank
would
you.
like to, well, you gave the people your information, how to get a hold of you.
Yes, Harris
Thank,
Corbett. Also, let me leave my telephone number.
yes,
It's
please.
302-545-0042. That's 302-545-0042.
And that is your cell number, right?
Telephone. Yep, you get me directly.
Yep. So cell phone 302-545-0042.
42.
Yep.
Yeah, you can see the office. I'm in the office here, but no one's here. We closed. We can't let nobody in, man.
Wow. Hey, man.
Yes,
It's
sir.
everywhere, man. Highway, it's everywhere. So we'll see what's coming
All right.
in
Thank you.
days to come. Thank you so much, bro. Again, I
No
appreciate you.
problem.
All right,
Thank
enjoy your
you.
day.
All right, bye.